I'm gonna always yell, yes.
It's been other issues, but we're good.
We can talk more on
Thank
the
the
officers. We can talk more on the other day for another pipe
Regular
roast with
Borough
the
Council
highlights.
meeting of the Borough of Pompton Lakes Mayor and Council Municipal Corporation in the County of Passaic. The meeting will begin at 7 p.m. on February 11, 2026 in the Municipal Building, 25 Lenox Avenue, Pompton Lakes, consistent with the Open Public Meetings Act. The meeting will be open for public comments and shall be in accordance with the terms and conditions of the borough's municipal code and bylaws.
Please stand for a flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bless this mayor and council as they deliberate on the best of Pompton Lakes. Roll call, please.
Yes, statement of compliance.
Oh, I'm sorry. In conformance with the Open Public Meeting Law, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, adequate notice of this meeting setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this regular meeting through notice posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, mailed to all, requested and paid for same, and published in the Suburban Trends. Roll call.
Mayor Scarpelli.
Here?
Council President Kent.
Here.
Councilman Bay.
Here.
Councilman Cruz.
Here.
Councilman Hinton.
Here.
Councilman Santos.
Here.
And Councilman Bennett.
Here.
With us this evening is our Borough Attorney, Mark Zamorero, and our Borough Administrator, Michael Correa.
Okay, thank you.
And our Police Chief, Anthony Rodriguez.
Okay, under my updates, I have an appointment with advice and consent of the Borough Council for our tax appeal attorneys, Robert Osdike and David Rutenberg. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilman Cruz, Councilman Hinton, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay. Motion to open the meeting for public comments.
So moved.
Councilman Cruz, Councilman Hinton, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address?
Someone else speak at once.
Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Councilman Bennett, Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion to approve the following minutes. Special open council meeting minutes, January 28th, 2026. Regular, January 28th, 2026. Closed session, January 28th, 2026. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilman Sanders, who is that? Sanders?
Second.
Councilman Bennett, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Authorizing bills and claims as listed below. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilman Bennett?
Second.
Council President Kent, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Consent agenda. Anybody need anything removed? Okay, seeing none. Liz? Oh, somebody got one? Go ahead.
I had a question on 26-115, and would like to make a statement on 26-116.
Well, you can't make a statement. You have a question. If you have a question.
What would my question be?
Do you want me to first read it in?
Yeah. Go ahead, Liz.
Whereas the mayor and borough council of the
Well,
borough of Pompton Lakes has used the consent agenda consisting of our proposed resolutions, whereas the mayor and borough council of the borough of Pompton Lakes does desire to remove resolutions from individual actions from that agenda. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following resolutions on the consent agenda are hereby approved. Resolution 26-93 through 26-118, we're going to remove 26-115 and 26-116.
Yes. Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Councilman Cruz,
Second.
Councilman Big, all in favor?
Aye.
Against. Okay, 26-115.
On 115,
No, he's going to
I'll
read
read
it.
it. Award contract to Evan Bilkio, Tree Consulting Architectural for the Borough Tree Inventory Services.
Okay, question?
yeah, I had a conversation with our administrator about this, and they're setting up an inventory of trees in the town of Pompton Lakes, and they're trying to work it out, whereas they're going to be, how would I word that, Administrator? They're going to be through the years, we have to pay a fee?
Right, so, as part of this contract award, so for those of you that aren't aware, the Borough of Pompton Lakes received a $22,000 grant from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for updates to our community forestry management plan, which was previously contracted out to John Linson, our borough arborist, which actually has been completed already. We've circulated a draft to the Shade Tree Commission already, so we're looking for comments back on that. But as part of the grant, we did receive funding for a borough tree inventory. What that is the contractor basically goes around town, they survey all of the street trees in Pompton Lakes within the right-of-way. The cost is $7.50 per tree surveyed. The approximate amount of trees is 1,866 trees that will be surveyed in Pompton Lakes. And what Councilman Hinton is alluding to is, as part of this, the data that is furnished is an Excel spreadsheet, a PDF report from the arborist for the project, and also a Google Earth plotter, where the residents and members of the Shade Tree Commission and borough staff can go into the software. There's going to be thousands of trees plotted on this Google Earth system. You could pull up the tree, it's going to give you a picture of the tree.
Wow.
The diameter, any diseases, utility conflicts, et cetera, et cetera. So as part of that Google Earth software, the state of New Jersey does not fund the subscription cost for that software. So although we're getting $14,000 for the tree inventory, the program, which is called Arbor Pro Urban Forest Management, the 5-year cost for the subscription service is $18,000.
Wow.
So, and it's kind of a sole proprietor situation. There's not many other, sufficient softwares that can be used. And speaking to our arborist, John Linson, so this is something that either the commission, the Shade Tree Commission, is going to have to invest in through the budget process, or we do away with the Google Earth system and just, monitor our Excel spreadsheet that we get. So Councilman Hinton and I talked about that today, and I think we're going to bring it back to the Shade Tree Commission to talk about further.
Yeah, that's why I want to bring it up so the council really did a little more in-depth look at it. I mean, for $18,000 for 5 years, just to know where the trees are, what kind of trees they are. I mean, Councilwoman Kent had talked about a long time ago, as far as heritage trees in town, we would like to know where they are, trees that are over 200 years old, But I mean, to pay $18,000 to know how many oaks are in town, I just think it was tax dollars for information that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that's a lot of money for information we already have, and we have a very active Shade Tree Commission that maybe could do some of this legwork if they wanted to, at a cost, or we could even throw in a little money to get them gas and figure out how many oak trees or large trees or things. But
it's all pertinent information.
No, I get it. No, it makes sense, and I'm sure everybody kind of agrees that's a big number.
I was arguing with the subscription rate.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
Now,
But we're still getting the 22,000.
Correct.
correct, and mind you.
That's what this resolution is.
Right,
Okay.
and the inventory is required to maintain our UCF accreditation through the Shade Tree Commission. So I would recommend awarding the contract, but to Councilman Hinton's point, I think maybe in the future we'll possibly use the Shade Tree Commission to update the data.
Yeah, sure, that's what I'm thinking.
Because Councilman Hinton can take down a tree in his front yard tomorrow, and the inventory was completed yesterday,
Right.
but that tree's gonna be there for the life of the inventory. So we need someone to go in and update the data. So we have a very proficient commissioner on the Shade Tree Commission, who's a professor, who's willing to do the maintenance for us. So I think we're gonna utilize her.
With her
services.
students, yeah.
Right.
Mayor, if I may, if it's worth $75 a week, if it costs more than $75 a week to do all that, then the software is worth it. If it's less than $75 a week, then it's not worth it.
What, you're saying the software to just identify the trees?
No, what Administrator Curley was talking about.
To maintain. the
To maintain?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, so right now, we're voting just on the contract of the 22, we're not voting on the software,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so everybody, so we're not voting on the software now.
understood.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that up.
All right, so let's, can I have a motion for 26-115?
Motion.
Motion.
Council President Council President Kent and Councilman, who was that? Lennon?
Then,
All in favor?
Aye.
Against, okay. 2016, I think it was?
Yeah, 26, 116, 116.
Resolution authorizing the execution of shared service agreement with the Borough of Oakland for the division of solid waste recycling and vegetative waste collection services.
Okay, question?
the question is, I would like a little summary of, what's going on with this, resolution. If, our administrator can give us a little summary.
Yeah, I think the summary was given to you in closed session. It was given to you. in
Correct,
closed
but
session.
for the public, there was a lot of.
Well, we can't talk about the contract in public until it's official, until we vote on it. So we can't talk about anything that's not voted on yet. We can't talk about numbers and contracts and all those things until it's approved. That's privileged information right now.
Can we talk about the services, Mayor?
Not even the services, because we didn't vote on those things yet. Once we vote on it, then we can talk about it in public, yes. Okay, so Mike, if you want to add anything to that?
I would defer to Mark's opinion on the matter.
I certainly think you could discuss what the benefit of the agreement is and why you're doing it.
Yeah, we could do that, but we can't specifically talk about numbers yet. Because if it's voted down for some reason, then.
Right, but I understand what if it's voted down for some reason and then you're pushed into a situation where you're forced to renegotiate
Right.
it. Okay, I didn't think about it that way. That makes sense. I mean, the governing body certainly is aware of what the numbers were in closed session. And certainly we could illuminate it a little bit further. With that in mind, I certainly think that the administrator could indicate what the benefits are, and that there's a financial advantage and interest in the borough pursuing it. And then we could illuminate the public to exactly what the numbers are, or even at that point in time, the contract's public record. We could even, publish it. It doesn't matter.
Right. So I think I'm going to let our administrator talk, but I mean, after this is approved, we will have a whole explanation to the town of what we're doing and how it's going to work. There is no plan to put in place yet exactly. As you all are aware, that it's going to take 6 months to make that happen. So we've had a lot of steps in between there, but I'll let Michael just go over the highlights of what we're looking at.
Thank you, Mayor. So in summary, we've renegotiated with the Borough of Oakland for the provision of solid waste recycling and vegetative waste collection services. For residents out there, to make it simple, we will be collecting the Borough of Oakland's garbage moving forward, if adopted. The benefits to the agreement, well, to go back to the scope of the agreement, it's twice a week garbage, twice a week recycling pickup, vegetative waste pickup for the Borough of Oakland. They have a very similar schedule to the Borough of Pompton Lakes, which is why it worked so well for us to be able to collect their garbage. Some of the benefits of the agreement is in order to facilitate said agreement, we are going to need to hire 9 full-time employees, which is all captured in the fee that we're charging the Borough of Oakland. Inclusive in that fee is the cost of health benefits, pension, and fringe benefits. We are getting 2 new garbage trucks out of the deal. We are going to be initially renting trucks as part of the agreement, but we are getting 2 new garbage trucks in addition to a new pickup truck, and funding to purchase dumpsters for the Borough of Oakland. They have 32 dumpster locations. We have over 200 in Pompton Lakes, just so the residents.
I don't know if you mentioned the cost is being picked up
Right.
for that.
So all in all, we are charging a fee for the services. All of our hard costs are accounted for in the fee, with escalating provisions on, increases to health benefits, fuel, maintenance, equipment costs, and whatnot. There is a profit benefit to the Borough of Pompton Lakes, which is well over $1.2 million over the term of the agreement. Aside from that, most importantly, when you look at the labor staff costs, it's basically equivalent to about 3 full-time employees. If you look at the time that they're going to be working in the Borough of Oakland versus the time that they're going to be here in the Borough of Pompton Lakes. Again, once we get all the routes in order and everyone is proficient in collecting the garbage, you're looking at about 3 full-time employees out of the agreement, which is also a great benefit to us, which will add to our parks, our open space properties, and we'll be able to help our Buildings and Grounds Division moving forward.
So let me just add to what he was saying. The cost of the garbage trucks, the cost of the boxes, the cost of the truck that we're talking will be paid for by Oakland. They're paying us back. We're putting up the money, then they pay us back for that cost. So the town will not be putting out any money for any of those things. The town will not be putting out any money for the benefits, for the employees, for the health care, for the retirement, for the fringe benefits they get. That's all being paid for by Oakland. The way the program is hoping to work after we get it down a little bit is they will probably be working, these new 9 employees will probably be working in Oakland probably till around noon. And then they come back to Pompton Lakes, and like our administrator was saying, help us, we get extra 9 employees to do some of the work in town, which is the ball fields and the parks and the maintenance of the things that we're looking at. Plus the fact that we're getting, it's a shared service that we're getting paid on. And, the state recommends as many shared services as we can do. So in all, this is a good thing for us. It's a good thing for the town of Oakland.
And I just want to highlight on tonight's agenda, we did have a contract award for Bruno Associates, which is a grant writing firm. We did reach out to Bruno. There is a program called the Local Efficiency Achievement Program, which funds up to $350,000 for the onset of equipment for new shared service agreements. So we are retaining Bruno. We are applying for the cost of the garbage trucks. So if we are successful in the grant of $350,000, and this is a model application, by the way. It's a great program that the state looks on. You could be looking at an extra profit in that matter. So we're excited to see what Bruno can do for us, and we're hoping we get that grant. So thank you.
Okay, any comments, questions?
If I may, just
Sure.
one final point. In talking to the Borough of Oakland today, we're going to put out a joint press release and also an FAQ for the public on the level of services, joint press release that we'll put out so everyone is aware in the public. So just wanted to highlight that.
And there will be much more added to this when it comes public. There's other things that we didn't even talk about yet that are also part of this project, but when it all gets done, we'll figure that all out.
FAQ is frequently asked questions.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I would just like to comment also on this, whereas I think Michael's done a great job,
Yes.
and O'Rourke's done a great job. They've looked into this extensively, as we all have, and I just wanted this information brought out to the
Sure,
public.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion for Resolution 26-116?
Motion.
Councilman
Second.
Venon, Council President Kent, all in favor?
Aye.
Against. Okay. Ordinances, whenever you're ready.
If I may, Mark, do you need a roll call on
Want
that?
to roll call now?
On 116, you should,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, roll call,
Yeah.
please.
Councilman Sampson,
Yes.
Councilman Bennett,
Yes.
Councilman Bay,
Yes.
Councilman Cruz,
Yes.
Councilman King,
Yes.
Council President Kent.
Yes.
Ordinances.
Yep.
Ordinance for first reading, final adoption will be on February 25th, 2026. Ordinance amending Chapter 190, Article 4 of the Municipal Code of the Borough of Pompton Lakes to address the borough's affordable housing obligations under the Fair Housing Act and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls.
Before we get to motion, I'm going to have our attorney just give us a highlight of what that is.
Sure. This zoning ordinance is necessary for us to fulfill our affordable housing obligations. It's part of the steps that I had indicated at the last council meeting were necessary to bring our affordable housing plan into compliance.
Okay, thanks. Motion to approve ordinance number 2605 for introduction.
Motion.
Councilman Santers, Councilman Cruz, roll call, please.
Councilman Sampson,
Yes.
Councilman Bennett,
Yes.
Councilman Bay,
Yes.
Councilman Cruz,
Yes.
Councilman Hinton,
Yes.
Council President Kent.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, under my report, we'll start with, once again, our tiny little town made world news on channels 2 and 7. Probably not for the best thing in the world, but, the awning that blew off at the gas station did actually make world news. So that's national news. one news agency named the town, the other news agencies just said a town in New Jersey. But if they're that desperate for news about an awning falling off in New Jersey, that just tells you it was a slow news day. But we made the news, so that's what happens. I performed a couple weddings. I had a meeting along with the administrator and our clerk, about the housing, the new housing building that's being built for vets and seniors. The paperwork is going to be available around March 18th for an application. You can pick up the application here in the Borough Hall on that date only. We won't have them before that. March 17th or 18th, Liz, I forgot. It's one of those, it's 17th or 18th, and then, or it'll be on the county website. The way that it's working is that the county will be deciding who's getting in, there's income verifications and things, but the point system, the way it works is, if you're a vet, you get 2 points. If you're you live in Pompton Lakes, you get 2 points. If you live in Passaic County, you get 1 point. The people who get the most points and meet the income verification will be allowed in. You know, we're hoping to get some vets into this. You know, we want our vets to be taken care of, so this would be a good start for them to be in there. And then the next step would be for our seniors who want to stay in the town that they've been in a long time. I know all three of us and many people up here have had people reach out to them on how to do this. We have no part in the process. We do not pick, or all we could do is steer you to the right place, fill out the application, get it in, and wait for an answer. So if you have any questions, call the Housing Authority in Passaic County, or wait till the 17th and 18th, and you can pick up the forms there. I attended the ambulance squad dinner. They always do a nice event. It's great food, great people. Again, a volunteer organization that goes out of their way to help our residents all the time. You know, this is not a 9-to-5 job. They're riding that rig, you know, all day sometimes and getting a call at 4 in the morning. I know that they listed the winners of the most calls. They were thousands of hours. We're not talking, you know, 200 hours. There were 1,200, 1,500 hours that they're putting in as a volunteer, not getting paid, away from their families to do this. So I thank everybody in that squad. We have a great squad between Riverdale and ourselves. We take care of that. We will be buying a new ambulance, and Riverdale will be purchasing a new ambulance for them to keep Cupcake. We do so well that the county we cover other towns because sometimes the county can't get to them. We actually have enough people sometimes during the day to cover our groups. A lot of towns are having tough times with ambulance squads, so I thank them for everything they do. Today I had a meeting with the engineers to talk about the Willow Field project. We were moving along great. It was all set to go. Everything was on time, and then this darn snow hit. We can't do anything till the snow disappears. They can't work. They can't clear the snow. There's nothing that can be done at this moment. It might push the project back about a month or so. We've spoken to Little League and soccer about having to adjust their schedules a little bit. There's nothing we can do until the snow is gone, so that's unfortunate. I also had a finance committee with a couple of the members up here. We talked about our capital budget, which for the public, we have, you know, the capital side is the things we need in town, and then there's the expense side the things we spend. To stay on top of things in any town, you have to keep up on your capital budget. If you don't replace equipment, if you don't replace police cars, if you don't replace fire trucks, things break down and then you're in trouble. So we try to stay up on top of that, but we try to do it responsibly so it doesn't hurt the budget so much. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, every year we should be addressing these concerns because capital things come up every single year from every department, from fire, police, OEM, ambulance. These are all capital things there, and I think the committee met and had some good comments about that. So I think you'll hear more. This council will hear more about it in a meeting we'll have, and then we'll bring it out to the public. And that is my report. Council President.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to thank the DPW workers for all of the snow removal. I know there was an issue because the Passaic County transportation crew did not come and do what I felt was an adequate job initially. And our DPW, and Mayor, thank you, came in and actually removed the necessary snow from the downtown areas that should have been removed in the first place. And then, of course, Passaic County did come in after the fact. But I do want to thank them for all their hard work. And, you know, they did a great job after that. So I want to thank them for that. We do have a coyote issue on Summit Avenue. I don't know if we're going to meet with the animal control officer, but I did speak with them. What's happening, and these two coyotes decided to make home underneath one of the person's deck on Summit Avenue, and so there's concern. They left, now they're back. So we have
In a different spot.
in a different spot, but then we have to figure out what's going on with that, because neighbors are very concerned about their dogs and walking their dogs, their children. They do walk, and we have a lot of children that walk home from school on Lakeside. So we do have to take a look at that and see what we can do. We got to get that addressed. I attended the Flood Advisory Board. Just an update, we are looking to purchase the drone to do the flyover for the streams. That's very important, because that's going to hopefully help us remove whatever trees need to be removed from the three rivers before the rainy season in the spring. So we're looking to do that. And one of the flood board members, a longtime flood board member, thought she was moving. She's not. So we don't need an extra alternate people on the board. And that's a hard board to fill, because there's so many federal and state rules about flooding and insurance. So we're lucky she's going to stay. She's staying in town. So we're very happy to have Pat. Mrs. Lenoy. She does a great job for us. And I was invited because I was on DPW for many, many years as a liaison, but Frank's Italian Restaurant did a really nice job in inviting the first responders, evidently free dinner, and it was really very nice. Saw all the police, DPW, fire, they were all there enjoying the meal. So I want to thank them. And again, wonderful shops and shop owners that we have, giving that back to the community. And I was going to ask our attorney if he had an update on the DuPont 75 million distribution letter. That, can you give us an update on that, Mark?
Sure, Council President. I had, as you requested, I contacted Dave Rutenberg to find out and confirm that his letter went unanswered. And he confirmed that, in fact, he did not receive any response. I obviously looked at the letter. I agree with its content. The whole concept behind this award and not having money directed to the, for lack of a better word, victims of the contamination is somewhat mind-boggling. So we are in a process of preparing a follow-up letter. My partner Scott's currently working on it. It should go out tomorrow morning.
Oh, good. Okay.
And we'll try to keep their feet to the fire, and we'll have it on a monthly tickler, so we keep on following up. Probably makes sense to copy the senator on it and see if he could do anything to try to push it along for us.
Our senator and assembly.
Yeah, I've had many conversations with them. They're going to do what they can from their side. They are aware of it, and they are, everyone that I talk to in state government is bewildered the fact that the people that don't get money in these towns, but yet they're the ones making the decisions. So at the end of the day, something has to change there. I mean,
it's almost like the state came in just to circumvent and take money that
just
would have
take all the
otherwise
money, yes.
had been dedicated to municipalities.
They've done nothing.
Yeah.
We're the ones who had all the burden.
And even 1% of that money is a huge number for our borough.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay,
Agreed.
Thank you, Council. And that is my report.
Thank you, and thank you for reminding me about Frank's, another great establishment here in town. I know they did one for our DPW, and they also did one for our fire and first aid and ambulance squads, and I know it was well attended. It was free to anybody who came in. All they had to do was say they were first responders. Great businesses in town, supporting our town. That's what we like to see. Those are the kind of places we like to come in and do. So again, I thank them for also doing that. That was very nice of them. Okay, who's next? I didn't even look at the list. Councilman Santers.
Thank you, Mayor. Just brief, I attended both Board of Ed meetings the last couple weeks. I'd like to recognize two students for their achievements. Ion Khan, an 8th grader from Lakeside. He finished first place in the Gifted and Talented Spelling Bee for Passaic County.
Nice.
Over 80 students participated from the county, so he finished first. And also Chad McConnell, a junior wrestler from Pompton Lakes High School, had his 100th win last week. He has an average over 33 wins per season. He still has a few matches left this year, and he has his senior year, so he'll have well over 100 wins. And also, Dr. Amoroso will be resigning from the Board of Ed August 31st, 2026.
Right, he'll be retiring, right?
Yeah, he was retiring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say that again, what?
Dr. Amoroso is
Amoroso
retiring in
retiring?
August, yes. He announced that to the public.
That's a big loss for the town of Pompton.
Very big loss.
It is, because anybody who's been in town a while knows he started as a teacher in Lakeside, and his claim to fame is he never forgets the student's name. You know, that you could go back 15 years and he'll remember your name. I don't even remember my wife's name sometimes. I don't know how he can do that, but.
And also, you know, DPW did a great job downtown. I drive around Passaic and Bergen County towns all day long, and our town by far went beyond, you know, what the other towns did. Other towns, still can't even drive through them, so, you know, well done. That's my report.
And I know we reported about this at the last council meeting, but to the residents, if you're unhappy with what the county did, and I know some residents did reach out to the county, that is the way to do it, because they listen, they do respond to that. You know, just like anybody else, they hear complaints from the residents in town, they'll make a move. They don't hear complaints, they don't make a move. So it's probably best if you felt, and I did too, I felt the roads were horrible. Hamburg Turnpike till this date still is not 2 lanes. I don't see how they haven't fixed that yet, but it's still not 2 lanes. So if you feel obligated to send an email to the county, if you feel especially if you're on a county road, you know, and we have a list that can tell you who's on county roads. If you feel the county road wasn't snowed properly, you can reach out to them and say, I'm very unhappy with that. That's the way to go about doing that. Okay, thank you. Councilman Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor. A relatively short report. A lot of my committees have not met yet this month. I also want to echo Councilman Sancher's comments about the snow removal downtown Wanacue Ave. Looks amazing. There's no snow on the sidewalks at all. Hopefully, moving forward, we can coordinate with the bid and have it done on a regular basis if it does snow like this again. Also, I was at the appreciation dinner last night at Frank's. Well attended. I sat with a couple of first aid folks, and a bunch of firefighters came in just as I had to leave. So thank you to Frank's for holding that. Attended a finance committee meeting that the mayor alluded to earlier. We had to make some tough decisions. Of course, I want to say yes to everything the police department, the fire department wants to say, but we can't get a new vehicle for everyone every year. But to the mayor's point, if we don't and kick the can down the road, then we're stuck with replacing a bunch of new vehicles or a bunch of vehicles in one shot. So it's a balancing act, because, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, of the dollar we collect of your tax money, about 55 cents goes to the Board of Ed, 20 cents goes to the county, and 25 cents, 1/4, is what the borough gets to spend. And that's on police vehicles, that's on fire vehicles, ambulance, DPW, all of it, 25 cents. I think we do a pretty good job. And that is my report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Begg, you have a couple motions there.
Yep. So first, motion to approve the request of Lauren Vennon and surrounding neighbors to host a block party on Sunset Road on Saturday, June 20th, 2026, from 12 until 8 p.m. No rain date. Police, fire, first aid to be notified.
Have a second?
Second?
Council President Kent, all in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Okay, and I have a motion to approve the request of the Pompton Lakes PBA Local 161 to hold a 5K run walk in Hirschfield Park on Saturday, June 6, 2026, beginning at 9 a.m. The course would follow the same route as the one used for the 5K run walk event on Pompton Day. No road closures are necessary for this route, in addition to police, fire, first aid to be notified.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Bennett, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, thanks.
All right, so on Monday night, I attended the first responders dinner at Frank's Pizzeria. They did put out a buffet of their specialty food. I just want to thank the owners, Gene, Tony, and Cynthia, for their generosity and support to our first responders. After the dinner, I went over to the high school and attended the Hardwood Classic. It was a great event promoting a drug and alcohol-free community for our youth. Last night, I attended the Chamber of Commerce dinner meeting held at, I guess, Spaziani Catering and Food Design in Butler. They're part of the Pompton Lakes Chamber of Commerce, and if people don't know, as an FYI, our Chamber of Commerce allows businesses from other towns to join our Chamber of Commerce. So there were business owners from Butler, Bucquonic, and Riverdale as well in attendance. Chief Rodriguez was there as well. and spoke last night. When he was done, he held a Q&A, and that was very beneficial to our business owners. So thank you for doing that. Couple of announcements. Rotary Beefsteak will take place on Saturday, May 9th at the Bloomingdale Fireman's Hall. Tickets can be purchased through Sue Barone. This year, Carl Padula will be honored, so hopefully it'll max out and sell out. Big bucks go on sale Saturday. Get there early. Sales from 10:30 to 1, or while supplies last in the high school parking lot. No cash, only checks are accepted, and only one transaction per customer.
So somebody asked me this, just to verify, one per customer. So if there's two people in the car, they can each get one.
I would
think
say, yeah,
that's
that's.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what we
100%.
talked about
We
with the
talked-
seniors. A lot of the seniors
Yeah.
don't drive.
Right.
So it's
Okay, just want to verify
not
that.
one per vehicle.
It's one per
One
person.
per customer.
Yes.
And in the future, they hope to bring it back to the bid office so that they can sell it, people walk in, and
Yep.
that way they're in town, hopefully using the bid box right away, so. And then lastly, here are some rec and town events. Knights of Columbus are hosting an Irish dinner on March 7th at 6 o'clock at the Carnival Center. For reservations, please contact Keith Ahern. Irish dancing with Father John will be Wednesday, February 25th from 7 to 8 at the Carnival Center. The cost is $5 per class. Reminder that the walking club is moved indoors at Lakeside Middle School on Tuesday and Thursday nights from 7 to 8. It is free of charge. The Women's Get Fit Club is every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 8 at Lincoln School. Pickleball is every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 at Lincoln School. And last 4 ones, the Pompton Lakes Riverdale Little League is running a beefsteak and turkey tray on Saturday, March 9th at the Knights of Columbus in Butler. The price is $65 a person and the doors open at 6. The Easter egg hunt, moved off of the calendar, is on March 28th at the Hirschville Tennis Courts. The hunt begins at 2 o'clock and you need to bring your own basket. Breakfast with the Easter Bunny is Saturday, March 21st from 9 to 11 at Lakeside Middle School. The seating is limited. No tickets will be sold at the door. And lastly, the Knights of Columbus is hosting a fish fry on Ash Wednesday, February 18th at the Carnival Center. And that's my report.
Thank you. What's important about the bid buck sales, besides the benefit you get from buying the bid bucks, is the bids can keep track of where these people are coming to buy the bid dollars from. And what they're really looking for is from people from other towns coming into our town to buy money to spend. And we've seen a growth in that area. We've seen people from Wayne and other areas coming in to shop in town. That's why the bid program is such an important program, because once you have those dollars in your hand, you can only use them in Pompton Lakes. So once they purchase them, we know they're coming back to shop, and that's a huge bonus. And if people aren't familiar, many people might not be familiar with what the program is. You buy $150 worth of bid dollars for $100. The owners of the establishments you use them in, which is most of the businesses downtown, get full value back for them. There's no discount to them. If you spend $22, they get a check from us for $22 for the bid dollars. So that we do this to help incentivize working and selling in our town. The business owners lose nothing. The public makes out $50, and we can keep track. So it's all in all one of the best programs the bid has ever put together, and I can tell you other towns have copied it because it works out so well.
Mayor,
Yeah,
can we use them at the coin store?
we're working on that. They're working on that. I did talk to them actually.
Okay, thank you.
But you can use them at gas stations even. I mean, you can use them anywhere. Councilman Cruz.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I attended the Board of Education conference meeting. Before the meeting began, Dr. Jake Hernanko, he had a curriculum report and basically highlighted the history program that they run out of Lakeside, which was really nice, and they covered many different periods, obviously, with the program. He's interested to see how the kids are so much engaged now with history. And then the segue to that was was a teacher, Mr. Hale, brought in the debate team from the school, and an interesting topic was immigration. And it was really nice to see how they were going back and forth, proof and point questions and answers for that. And they did a really nice job. I say it was probably about 30 minutes of them going back and forth, all with prepared questions and answers. And it was a full house. I think me and Councilman Sanders were sitting up at the office. We couldn't even get in. So it was really nice to see that. I also attended the installation dinner for the first aid squad. And just a few highlights from that, other than the fact that it was a fantastic place. It was great to see everybody just enjoying the time there. For the first squad updates, I just want to recognize and congratulate their 2026 officers. We have Chief Walter Gossin, Assistant Chief Sean Philippi, Captain Mike Pasaletto, Lieutenant Amanda Gossin, say the name wrong, I apologize. Treasurer Ken Rosari, Recording Secretary Dan Cottrell, Corresponding Secretary Taylor Gusson, and Training Cindy Reardon. We also want to recognize and would like to congratulate Kyle Pizzola, Savannah Gumber, and Jay Greco on their CPR save, Dan Cottrell, Rick Serafine, Mike Fasoletto, and Deborah Ross on their Outstanding Performance Award out of Pediatric Trauma. Again, this is fantastic. Many members who celebrate a milestone in their years of service, ranging from 5 to 25 years. 3 members who took the most calls for 2025, Mike Fasoletto, Amanda Gossin, and Deborah Ross. And 3 members who rendered the most number of duty hours for 2025, Mike Fasoletto, Amanda Gossin, and Ken Irizarry. And I just want to highlight that for 2025, they handled 1,092 calls. Absolutely amazing. And again, this is through the partnerships, obviously, with other towns and municipalities, where they too have to go out there and help them as well. And, you know, I did skip one little thing for the Board of Ed. Congratulations to Mrs. Conti on being recognized as Teacher of the Marking Period. Her work in business concepts and leadership, financial literacy, and personal law, along with her leadership of our FBLA club, gives students meaningful skills that prepare them for life beyond high school. So congratulations, she's an amazing teacher, and that'll do it for my report here.
And I've said it many times, what makes our town special is our volunteers. Our volunteers put the time and energy into what we do in this town, and they're doing it for free. And we have great volunteers, and I have waiting lists on a lot of the groups. That's a nice thing to see, and I hope that stays that way for a very long time. Okay, Councilman Hinton.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I also attended the Finance Committee meeting with you and Councilman Bennett. And yes, I agree with the both of you. We need to replace vehicles on a consistent basis, but we can't just be buying everybody their Christmas list for what they want. So I think that we came to some good agreements on the way we should proceed. And it's the way it's going to go. I mean, taxpayers need the vehicles to protect the town and to do the services, and we're trying to do the best we can with the money that we have coming in. Also, I want to, I attended the Shade Tree Commission meeting. Couple little items that I'll bring up with our administrator. Let's see, well, I'll bring these up with Michael at another time. There's nothing really outstanding need to report to the town. When I went for my little walk the other day and saw the snow the way it was, I noticed and I called our OEM, Al Evangelista, that a lot of the fire hydrants we asked the residents to dig out the fire hydrants. I came across the fire hydrant on 242 Midland Avenue, and all I saw was the top bolt. It was completely buried. And then I made mention that there was no red flag, you know, to mark the fire hydrants. And according to our OEM, he said a deal was made at one point in time with past MUA Director John Wegley, and half the town was done with those signs. So I just want to inform Councilman Santers if he can talk to the MUA again. I was not aware of this when I was the liaison, but a lot of the other fire hydrants need to be addressed with those red signs that they have coming out of them, just to identify them when they're buried with snow like that.
So I think what we can help with that, because I agree with they should be clean, no question, and if residents don't do them, maybe Liz, we can reach out to the Boy Scouts, and, you know, it has to be done quickly after, because then it freezes. Like now, it's going to be all pretty hard to do. But they would probably jump on that for a project, service hour project, to get some of that done. So the problem would be we'd have to identify, and I'm going to ask the police maybe, if they're driving by and they see one that's covered, to just note it down, and then we'll get that list to somebody, because we'd have to get a list. That would be the most important thing. And DPW, I'll ask them to do the same thing. And that way we can keep an idea of which ones need to be done, because they should be, because God forbid it's one of those that we need that's
Of course,
valuable.
if there's a fire at a time,
Yeah.
yes. And the aspect of it is, you said we had all this cold weather, it's freezing, but I did some shoveling in my own yard. You break through that top crust, it's powdery and very
So maybe
dry.
And maybe they'll still do it.
So even those snowbanks, it's not that hard to shovel them out.
So if you want me to, Liz, I can reach out, or you
No,
can.
I'll reach out, perhaps we can put something up on Facebook and ask the residents.
Yeah, we can remind them too. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
I didn't know if, that's why I touched base with LVM, I didn't know if the fire department itself would go around and do that.
I don't remember them doing that, but I'm not going to say yes or
I
no.
was on the corner of Klug Street and Ackerman Place, and the snow was piled so high, it was just underneath the firebox. So, I mean, DPW has to be aware of this also, that it would be difficult, if there was a fire, to pull them. Most people use their cell phone to call. But, I mean, those fireboxes are still working, and if somebody didn't have their cell phone and saw a fire, it'd be very difficult to pull that alarm. Also, I noticed that the Columbia Bank sign got blown over also.
Did, yes.
In that last.
And credit to Columbia Savings, within 3-4 hours, they had people there fixing that sign. So, I mean, if they didn't even wait less than, it was 6 hours, they were up there taking it
Well,
down.
credit to the gas station too,
Yes, yeah.
because I thought for sure it'd be the following week before they got that out of there, and it was gone.
So I got a call from the chief of the fire department telling me what happened, and then he said, under precautionary state, because it fell on a gas tank, we're calling in the hazmat team. We don't believe there's any gas leaking, but just to be safe. So the hazmat team was notified and called in, just to be aware that we had a gas pump that had a thing fall on it. Turned out to be okay. But yes, they did remove that quickly also.
Did the hazmat team remove that canopy, or?
No, they had to hire a company.
Okay. No, they did a nice job on that. They took care of it pretty fast. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know whose job it really was to dig out fire hydrants. I know the residents. My neighbor digs his out all the time. I help him.
Yeah, there's no real job, and we'll look into that, but the residents should be trying to help us clean them out if they have one in front. They should try.
And that is my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Attorney's report. Any report?
I really have nothing to report, Mayor, other than the fact that I have been working with our affordable housing planner as well as our redevelopment agency's attorney and the business administrator to finalize the affordable housing plan. You have a very industrious administrator. We're on the phone often, exploring ways to save expenses and generate revenue for the borough. It's refreshing and creative.
And it's a lot of work. Getting this final from all parties involved, it's way over my pay grade because there's a lot of emails going back and forth about that. So thank you. Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, you got a question?
Before, I had a question for the attorney. I had brought up an issue a while back, last year, about the Schuyler Avenue crossings. We're paying a maintenance fee for Schuyler Avenue, and there's really nothing there to maintain.
I don't know if you're aware of, so the railroad, a deal was worked out with the railroad in 1960, I think it was, that we pay a maintenance fee to them. And our previous attorney did look into it, didn't find much leeway, but maybe you can take another look at it.
If someone can get me the agreement.
I'll make sure I resend it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay? Okay, administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor. First, want to thank the DPW for their great efforts to clear the snow along Wanacue Ave. And I also look forward to working with the bid on potential funding assistance in the future for clearing of the snow. The Hirschfield Park Phase 1 Improvements Project, which consists of the renovations to the Hirschfield Park Storage Building, continues to progress and is on schedule. I'm working with the Recreation Director, Karen Murphy, to select the interior paint colors. The exterior siding has been pre-painted and installed. We've installed extra lighting on the exterior of the building, and we are looking at a future change order for a speaker system. On tonight's agenda, we did have a change order to install an epoxy floor on the flooring of the building. It's like a shiny floor coating that you would see in a garage. We did that for both flooding purposes and, for the ease of cleaning with all the kids that come in and out of the building. So all in all, the project is under budget and on schedule, so we will update everyone on that. The Finance Committee does continue to meet and discuss our 2026 municipal budget. We have reached out to schedule a budget hearing to go over the departmental requests. We are looking at a budget presentation for the March 11th council meeting with hopeful introduction thereafter at the March 25th meeting. And we also continue to monitor the departmental capital requests, and we are going to be scheduling a follow-up capital meeting in the next few weeks to just recap where we are. So look for an email from me on that. And just wanted to note that the ordinance committee is meeting on February 23rd at 5:30 to discuss the chicken ordinance, amendments to our wildlife ordinance, our fowl ordinance, fence ordinances, and many others. So we look forward to working with the committee.
And just note down that we should put the coyote on that too.
Thank you. Our animal control officer will be present
there,
too.
right. So-
And I just wanted to conclude and thank the police chief for addressing the ongoing issues with Verizon. After the last council meeting, we did reach out to Verizon about the solicitation issues. I think the chief reached a supervisor, and the supervisor is going to reach out to the third-party company to get a handle on the situation. So I would just say to the public, if you have any issues, report it to the police department. I know the police put out a social media post about the matter, and we are going to continue to monitor the situation. Thank you.
And you're right, thank the chief for jumping right on top of that, because what we did find out after the chief did some research is everything they were doing was illegal with the Verizon and how they were doing it. You know, they were saying they had permits, they did not. They were coming past the hours that they were supposed to. So the chief did finally, it's hard to get hold of someone who's in charge, but the chief was able to do that and get in charge, and hopefully they're righting the ship, and they, you know, obviously they're selling a product that they want us to buy, so they should be following the rules, because it just doesn't look good for them if they're not. So thank you for doing that. Our chief's report.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, any questions to the administrator? No? Okay, that's yours.
So not much, but I just wanted to highlight, you know, we had obviously this big winter storm, a lot of coordination with a lot of different departments, so I just want to highlight that the open communication between all departments makes things a lot easier, and we all work well together. So it was really good, and I think everybody did a good job working together, working through the storm, and then afterwards. To touch upon the solicitors, yes, they were actually saying that they had pre-approval from me for permits, which wasn't true. I reached one of the supervisors that manages the whole program, and he reached out to them immediately, and since our conversation, it seems like we haven't had any problems. He assured me that he was going to pull them until the issues were addressed or they got the proper permits, and that if he were to put people back into Pompton Lakes, it would be limited of 2 people, but I haven't heard, I don't think he put anybody back in from what I know. And then just to let everybody know, the residents know, the borough ordinances for solicitors require that each person obtain a permit before operating in our town. That process is they go to Borough Hall, they send the permits, they got to do a background, and once that's approval and they get that, then they can go out. And they have to carry that documentation with them. So if ever someone knocks on your door and they're soliciting, you know, you as the resident can ask them, hey, do you have your permit? If they don't, or they give you a song and a dance, please contact the police department, and we will respond over there and enforce the ordinances that we have in place.
Can I just ask one quick question on that?
Sure.
Are they still allowed to go out house to house at 9 o'clock at night, by 9 o'clock at night?
So, from what I'm off the top of my head, I don't know if there's times in the ordinance. There are, right, Liz?
Yeah, there was.
It is till 9 o'clock.
It's till 9 o'clock, yeah. That's something I think we can change, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, we can, let's talk about that, the ordinance.
Especially when they come, you know, in the dead of winter, and it's, you can't
Absolutely.
be doing that.
I think that's why initially it was put in, because it was the summertime.
Yeah.
But on the reverse side of that, the wintertime, 9 o'clock, some people, it's a late
I
night.
think we can adjust the language. to
Yeah,
even-
and maybe we would do it by season, we could do that.
You know, I think that would be better for the residents.
They're encouraged to contact us if they run into any problems with any solicitors. Please contact the police department. I don't know if anybody else has any questions with the report, but
Well, I'm just gonna add to, so with the storm, you know, I think we went over it last time, but with the storm, there was great communication between all departments about how things were working, you know. Everybody was kept in a loop, and we had a text chain going all the time. But at the end of the day, when the departments are working with each other, That's what really makes things improve. Like if the police need their lot plowed because the cars have to get in and out, and the DPW is aware of that, they can work together to make it work. So that's where it really becomes important. OEM was right on top of checking out where our streets were and how things were looking. You know, I took rides with a couple different people, and you know, you can see the progress that we were making. That was a tough storm. That wasn't, you know, your normal everyday storm. So we did a very good job on that. But I also have to give credit to the residents. You did remove your cars for the most part from the street. There were a couple that didn't do it. Maybe they didn't know or understand, but for the most part, most residents did remove your cars from the street. So we thank you for that. And it just makes your street and your neighborhood better by doing that, because they can go curb to plow. If they don't do that and there's a car in the way, there's going to be a big turnaround spot, and then the police have to get involved and knock on the door and the whole thing. So I want to thank them. Any questions for the chief?
I
Please,
do,
go ahead.
just quickly. So, regarding the call breakdown by the time of day,
Yes.
again, very informative report, so I have to give kudos to the chief. I mean, this is just amazing information, but it's interesting to see how the call breakdown by the time of day, your highest numbers are at 10 a.m., following 7 a.m., and then 12 p.m.
Yes.
I mean, we have that many retirees? Do we have that many people? I mean, just to see the 10 a.m. is a high volume of calls to the police department just strike me as odd.
Yeah, so we get a number of, you know, medical calls. We're responding to all those medical calls. We get any type of call for service, we're going. So with the influx of people going to work, our kids in the schools, your calls are going to increase during those daytime hours. At night, we're still getting a decent amount of calls, but obviously it
That's what I
trails off.
noticed. It starts to go down a little bit when you get to night.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, for the most part, Mayor, I do agree with you that the departments all work together. But we ran across a couple of incidents. I want to thank the chief for going by the post office, because the sidewalk on Colfax Ave was never shoveled. The chief had said to me that that's not really his job to go out. He felt it was more property maintenance job. The building inspector, who's in charge of property maintenance, didn't feel that it was their job to patrol sidewalks that were unshoveled. So we just have to get everybody together and get on the right page. Yes, you are absolutely correct that this storm was a bad storm that we haven't had in so many years. I want to thank the DPW, like Councilwoman Kent said. They did a nice job in town cleaning up. It turned out that the Passaic County dropped the ball on this through OEM Al Evangelista, and the rest of us got together and told DPW to plow the county roads, and thankfully they did that, and they did an excellent job. But there was a couple of little falsehoods there. Between on my walk, I see handicapped access, which the residents are supposed to take care of. Big mounds of snow that the DPW left in those handicapped access. We pay a lot of money to install those handicapped access. And handicapped access, the point I want to make, is 12 months a year. It's not 9 months a year, spring, summer, fall. This time of year, in the cold weather and the snow, I don't expect a lot of handicapped people out there in their wheelchairs using those accesses. But if they want to, they should be open. And then the post office didn't have any access at all for handicap. That sidewalk was never addressed in the back. So if another storm comes like this, people we're on notice now to work a little better together. County roads that the DPW did take care of, you had even mentioned on Lakeside Ave near Jefferson, going over the bridge to go to, say, ShopRite. The snow is 10 foot out into the road. It's still 10 foot out into the road. Now, I don't want to be pointing fingers at anybody, but if that situation exists, just take care of it. If DPW has to go over there and do another part of the county's job, I really don't care. Go take care of it. Because the residents shouldn't be swinging out into the middle of the road to make that right-hand turn. So as good as everybody has done, we still have to work a little better together alleviate some of these other problems.
All right, so I've already spoken to you about it. Federal property, we have no jurisdiction over. They're responsible for their own, you'd have to call the president himself to come down and fix that.
If I can get his number, I'll call him.
But we can issue a ticket, they don't pay the ticket, that's just how it goes. But we've worked out between the building department and police department on who's responsible, I'm assuming, on the sidewalks. Our DPW on a storm like that is working so hard even to tell them to do a little of the county work is so much extra work for them that it's very hard for them to do.
And I agree with that.
So, really, it's the county's responsibility. The county, we had a call on it, we were all on the call. That was one of the points of area I told them to address. They said they addressed it. I don't know, I didn't drive by, maybe they didn't address it. But I would hope that the county would do what they have to do. Handicap, again, this is an unusual storm. I spoke to Dan about it. He said, Mayor, there's only certain places I can push snow at when we're moving the snow. It has to go sometimes on the sidewalks and in those areas. We'll try to come back and get it, but I'm trying to get the traffic and street open for traffic, and there's no place to push that much snow. I mean, even by me, I mentioned to him, you're covering storm drains. We really shouldn't be covering storm drains with ice and snow. He goes, Mayor, there's nothing I can do about it. I have to cover those storm drains. But if we can get them open, we should. I agree that, we have to, but that's going to take some time. That's not going to happen initially right at the beginning of the snowstorm. They're just trying to open the roads for.
Right, but it's been 2 weeks already, so.
Yeah, just have two more things.
Okay.
So just to be fair with the postmaster, I talked to him personally. He was very perceptive. He wants to get the sidewalk open. It's just that he's got people that he followed up with, and he explained to me that he had to open a ticket. The ticket was inadvertently closed, unbeknownst to him. He had to then put it up to a couple of levels above him, and they reopened the ticket, but he's not even getting an answer from his supervisors on when those people are coming out. And the people that work at the post office, they don't take care of the snow.
Right.
So that's where we're at with that, but he's hopeful that will get done. As for just some updates on some of our stuff with the Civic Center, moving along very well. The trailer is now empty. Power has been cut as of today, so I'm hopeful that trailer will be out of there within the next 2 weeks.
Good.
And then on to the locker room and the police portion.
So the guys will be in the building at that point?
Well, no, we need to wait for the CO and all that stuff to happen.
So where are you putting the guys then?
So we moved Lieutenant Kopacki over into the second cubicle in Lieutenant Rufo's office for time being. He just moved over today, so it's temporary. Once we get that whole set up, he'll be going back into that rear office. And then,
Good, that's good progress.
Yeah, good progress. Locks and all that stuff, we're up
If I
to.
may just add, we're working with the DPW as part of our capital plan last year. We allocated $25,000 for the outfitting of the Civic Center. So we're going to be painting, we're going to be, furnishing moldings if that's not done. We have to secure some storage in the attic area, and most importantly, order furniture for the facility. Discussion has ensued on the use of that facility, and we're going to come back to the council with some recommendations on that, hopefully next month. So just wanted to.
When is it scheduled to open?
I would say in the next month, it's going to be usable.
Well, we won't have
But,
furniture. though, right?
We still have to order furniture, we still have to, get everything in order.
Are we keeping the big table? I think we should, myself, but.
We're going to talk about that.
It's a big table.
Like I said, the use of the facility, I talked to the mayor about
Yeah,
it.
we'll
We're going
talk
to bring
about
forth
that.
some recommendations and get the furniture orders specifically for the police department. too.
And historic
So-
on the walls.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, thank you.
Also, OEM had brought up about charging cell phones during a timeout. Have we, was that all installed?
Yes, I believe outlets were installed.
Yeah, we added extra
Suggest-
hours. Yeah. Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, I just had another question for the chief. There's still abandoned vehicles covered in snow. We don't have a towing policy? It's been over 2 weeks now, and these cars are still covered in snow and just sitting there. I know they were probably ticketed, hopefully.
So there was a few that were brought to my attention.
There's one on Schuyler Ave, one on Grant, one on Midland.
Yes, it was, I forget whether it was the one on Sky or the one on Grant, but my officers went over there to address, I think it was two different vehicles. They were both ticketed. I think the ordinance says that we can tow it if it becomes an issue. As I see it now, since the snow is gone, there is no issue at this moment. One of the residents is, she's unavailable. That's all I can say on that. She's unavailable. And the homeowner, it's a whole domestic situation, but she's just unavailable. She can't move the car, but it was ticketed. I was made aware of a trailer that's on the south end. I let Sal know, it's been addressed before, but just so everybody knows is, so our ordinance reads for trailers parked in the roadway that they can't be parked in the roadway if they're commercial trailers. If they are personal trailers, they're allowed to be parked in the roadway at all times. This is a personal trailer that's on the south end, you know, if it wasn't, we would address it. But it looks like it was parked in the snow, and a ticket should have been issued to that too.
And I got a call from Sal that we want to readdress the trailer situation, just to, you know, maybe put some limits on sizes on even personal trailers that can be in the street. Because some of them can get big and large, and they're hard to get around. So we're gonna, in the ordinance committee, I think that's another thing we're gonna address.
I second that. I know it's not a vote, but.
There was a boat trailer on
Lambert Street.
Lambert Street with another trailer attached to the back of that.
Right, but that's legal right now.
We have to address that.
And that from what I spoke to the resident over there on Lambert, so that situation, from what I understand, has resolved itself. The resident that owned those trailers has since moved and is no longer on the street.
Okay.
Good, so we still gotta address it. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions for the chief? Okay. Motion to open the meeting for public comment.
Motion.
Councilman Bennett?
Second.
Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address?
We do a workshop?
Oh, I'm sorry, did I skip workshop? I'm sorry, workshop, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. So tonight we have some ordinance amendments regarding the awards program for the police department. So I'm going to let the chief go over some recommendations we have for the council at this time.
Yes, so how it stands is the borough has, in essence, two awards committees. There's an awards committee, I think, where I'm a part of, and there's a couple other members that are on the borough, and that's for everyone else except for the police department. The police department has always had, by ordinance, their own awards committee, where the chief of police appoints a chair, and then it's a member almost at each rank, and then a civilian employee within the police department. So that's what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. So what I propose right now, our highest award is the Medal for Valor. And in my proposal, I'm proposing a couple of things. I feel like the police department, we need one, which would be a Medal of Honor. All right. The Medal of Honor would be awarded to a member who performs an act of extraordinary heroism involving extreme and obvious risk to the officer's life above and beyond the call of duty. This would be comparable to like a Medal of Honor in the military. It's something that would be, you almost would never get unless it's extreme. I don't even want to name the incidences because I'm just a little superstitious for that. But then the next award would be the Combat Cross. I think that's self-explanatory. And then we would be keeping the Medal. I think in our ordinance it reads Medal of Valor, but we really need to change that to Medal for Valor. And that's awarded to a member who exhibits extraordinary courage, bravery, and or devotion to duty by consciously exposing themselves to imminent danger despite great risk to their own life in an effort to protect or save the life of other individuals. So just to put that in context, we had a lot of men and women that went into that fire to save the resident in there that were put up for this award. And when we have our award ceremony, some of those officers will be, have been chosen to receive that award.
I'll just jump in for the new council, just to
Sure.
explain what you're talking about. So we do have an awards group made up of I think the mayor and the chief and some outside citizens sit on it, and they're a group that would give out awards for everyday kind of thing, but the police, for some reason, are not part of that awards group. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so as a chief, I sit on that
Right.
with everybody else, but they don't give the awards to the police.
But they do give them to the fire and the ambulance squad, I think, right?
I think so. I've never sat on it.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
We haven't done it in a long time. But my question for the attorney is, we have to do this by resolution? Is that the only
It's
way?
an ordinance amendment.
It's just an ordinance?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
We will continue to have the life-saving award. We will continue to have the Purple Heart. Chiefs Award will continue. Officer of the Year Award will continue. There's just some wording that I would like to get changed for the Officer of the Year Award and for the Civilian Employee of the Year Award. Right now, those two awards, in the current ordinance, it states that in order to be eligible for this award, they have had to have gotten one of 5 other awards during the year, which kind of makes it a little difficult, especially for a 25-person department, and it kind of narrows down the scope of that award to maybe only a few people. We will continue to have the meritorious service. We currently, as a police department, have a Distinguished Performance Award and a unit citation. So instead of that just being under the police department and under my discretion, I felt that it needed to be a part of the ordinance. And then we would continue to have the Civic Award, Community Service Award, Education Achievement Award, Citizen Service Award. And then the only other, I think, addition to my proposal was the addition of some language in regard to the awards committee, and then the authority of the chief of police in regard to final approvals for these awards after it comes out of committee.
I don't think anybody up here is going to have an issue on how you want to give out awards and what they are for. I don't think anybody really has a say or not cares, but wants to tell you how to run your department that way. So if what you put together is probably good enough to just give to our administrator, and then we'll adopt it unless somebody has a concern or question about that itself. But it's your department, how you want to run it and how you want to hand out the awards. I would respectfully go with his decisions. I mean, I don't think we should be making decisions on that.
Yeah, just to highlight some of this, so like, for instance, the medal, I don't think we've done it in a number of years, but my goal, what we're going to be doing for this next one, not even a goal, what we're going to be doing is following the ordinance, and some of these require a ribbon, a medal, and a plaque, and it's deserving. So with these being established and how they are, my goal is to, once we have the awards, it'll probably be, I'm hoping in March, because a lot of stuff have to be ordered that'll be required to this, but mounted in a nice plaque will be their certificate. It'll say Medal of Valor, really nice lettering. I can send you an example in an email. The borough seal in gold will be at the bottom. And this will all be mounted in a plaque. Next to it will be the Medal of Valor will be in there, and that'll be presented to them on the night that they receive the award, and the public will get to hear, what they did. So, and then as for Officer of the Year, which is an existing one, I don't know if you saw the plaque that I put out in the hallway. Once that's given out, the officer's picture will be taken professionally in his Class A's, and then that'll be memorialized in our lobby. The year that the officer received that award for the Officer of the Year. And that award is a big thing because it's a committee, so it's almost like an award from their peers too on what that officer did. It's a big thing, for an officer to be highlighted for the Officer of the Year.
All right, any questions about that? No questions.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up. I think it's a wonderful way to do this, and it is through the ordinance. And I spoke to Michael, ordinance 2-42.55. It's strictly for the police department, correct?
Yes.
So our other groups don't have anything,
They do, because I'm dealing with them now because.
but not in ordinance.
Not in an ordinance, but they have their own installation dinners usually, a lot of them.
Okay.
Where they give out the awards. The police doesn't really have an installation dinner. We just did, Bobby and I just went to the ambulance one where they gave out all their awards.
Okay.
The fire department will be having something in the near future where they'll be giving out all their awards. We are going to do we're still deciding how we're gonna do from the house fire. There's some awards that want to be given out,
Right.
and there's so many from the police department that they're gonna do their own awards.
Okay.
And then the fire department will figure out how they're gonna do that.
So my question is, I mean, there's extensive amount of ways of getting an award in, if they're, in Valor and so on, and, there's 9 or 10 of them here. But don't you think we should have one for the police and one for the ambulance for
They
their?
haven't asked, they're happy the way they got theirs right now. So they come up with their awards at their dinners and give out plaques and awards, at each dinner, because
Okay.
I'm part of that. That's how they want to do it. Now, I've always told them if they want to do it in public, we can do it also in public, but they choose not to sometimes.
I was gonna say, I've never heard of it. I know we've been.
No, we've done it
Police do
before.
it,
We've
yeah.
done it for the fire, the house explosion, we did it.
So I think by having the ordinance, at least for the police department, I'm only speaking for the police
Right.
department. So like those 2 other awards that I mentioned, the unit
Right.
citation and other ones, by having those internal awards, at least for me, and not being in ordinance, I can kind of give it out at whim on however I want to do it. And for me, I don't want that to be like that. I want it to be the same way all the time, from now until forever. So
I
that
appre- and I
it doesn't
appreciate-
take, so it doesn't take away
I appreciate
from
that.
from the award
From the
or
award,
how
right.
it's
You
awarded.
don't want it to be arbitrary. I
Yeah,
get it.
and
And
then,
I agree.
The
But
the
like-
committee puts a great deal of
But how do you
time.
include a fireman? Let's
He
say.
doesn't, no.
We
See, that's what
wouldn't-
I'm saying.
No, they
But we
won't.
shouldn't.
We
We should.
They shouldn't, but we should.
No, well, the fire department will handle their own. So they'll take care of their own awards. And they're gonna do an award ceremony separate from the police department's fire award ceremony for the
Yes.
West House
And
fire.
it,
So there's gonna be 2 award ceremonies.
yeah, so there's
Okay.
a few, for instance, I don't have the whole award in front of me, but I'm almost 100% positive that, well, the Distinguished Service Award is a new award. And eligible recipients would be members from our department, and then I could also nominate another member from another police department if somebody did something, but it would go to an awards committee. And how ours works is they have to be nominated for these awards, and then it's brought to the awards committee. So you'll have a captain, you'll have a lieutenant, a sergeant, a patrolman, and then you have a civilian member of our department. They meet, they go through all the reports, and then they put a recommendation of what they believe that they should get. So if I were to, let's say, award somebody the Medal of Honor, they go through it, they could turn around and then they say to me, like, hey, we think it's a little lower, maybe a Medal of Valor instead, and then they give me the recommendation.
Okay, but that would be for police.
That's for
So for
police, a
example,
lot of
the
men
ambulance
out.
squad did their installation dinner just last
Right.
week. And they gave out numerous awards for life-saving, for CPR, for many different things. And that's how they want to do it that way.
Okay.
They don't want to do it here in public. They like it at the dinner with everybody there, and that's how they want to do it.
Okay, I thought it was going to be done under the committee appointments that we made, which was with the officer, you're actually named, Anthony Rodriguez, officer in charge, Dennis Takaka, he's the fire chief, and Walt Gosson, he's the first aide. And then we have 1 citizen,
Right.
and that's it.
But that's for an award ceremony that we're giving, the town.
Right,
They-
but we have no ordinance, we just.
We just give it if we're going to
Give
do
it as we
it. But
do
they independently do their own.
Okay, well, I just
We
thought
don't
we
do,
should-
we don't do one really.
Okay,
Because it's double, it would be the same thing twice. If we're doing a house fire.
I just don't want to leave anybody out that earned it.
No, they're
I
good with that.
don't want to do that,
I think that's why they're spending the time and doing it, because,
and I'm fine with it.
yeah, they're making sure that, like, they have a lot of people in the fire department, and they have a lot of
Yeah,
people in the
there's
police
a lot of-
department. To have them overlap together, it's too much. It's just too many members, too many talking, too much time, and that's why they want to kind of keep it separate.
Okay, that was my point.
Okay. Any other questions?
If we're handing out awards, could we hand out awards to DPW picking up garbage in 12-degree, 20 below wind chill factor? Risking their lives to pick up our
That would
garbage?
be up to the DPW. I've attended their dinners.
We're handing out awards, Mayor.
No, we're not handing out any.
We're not doing it.
These are all coming from the department. The department, if that's something they would like, they would contact us and we would work with them. But it would be all from their department. They would do it.
They deserve an award.
Sure, I agree. They just had a pig
They
roast
just got
recently.
one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They talked about some people. Okay, any other questions? No. Okay. Motion to open the meeting for public comments.
Motion.
Councilman Denon.
Second.
Council President Kent, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Anyone from the public like to address? Please step up.
I have a copy of a letter that I received, I'd like to read for anyone.
You can give it to the clerk, yeah, you can give it to the clerk.
Thank you.
My name is Peter Shazat, of the 314 Woodlawn Avenue. I received a letter from the state recently, the Disaster Recovery and Mitigation Department, DRM. In early January of 2024, I was offered a house elevation offer from FEMA. And I think we came to a meeting in the Chamber of Councils back then,
This is a while ago, you're talking about.
January of 2024.
Oh, okay, recently.
Yeah. Anyway, so been going through this process, been a lot of plans put on hold, a lot of projects that were not started. And I recently just got this letter from the state saying, we regret to inform you that DRM is no longer able to fund the elevation of your property under the MAP program due to the construction costs exceeding FEMA cost allowances. Under the current federal administration, FEMA has updated its cost allowances for elevation projects. FEMA's policies and cost allowances have evolved since DRM applied for this funding before 2025. So it goes on, but basically this is saying that, not that it's a guarantee, but they probably would have offered me this project if their original estimates would not have included my house as being probably within the range. So due to, as we all know, many federal budgets have been cut recently, and FEMA has not been spared that at all. And so I wanted you to be aware of the downstream effects of what this means for actual people in towns. I'm positive that I am not the only one that got a letter like this recently. I don't know how many other projects were destined for this town or not, but I bet you there's a lot of very disappointed people who've now spent 2 years trying to configure their lives around the possibility of this happening. So I'm offering you an opportunity to maybe use any contacts or connections when you speak with politicians higher up the rank to maybe advocate for this program. I believe in it because, I've been through a few floods myself. I would like to have the root causes of severe displacement be removed. And this would have gone a long way towards achieving that. And that's really all I wanted to say. So,
Okay, thank you, I'll respond.
thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to address? Seeing no one, can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Councilman Hinton, Councilman Big, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Pete, I agree with you. I mean, I hate to see programs go away that help our residents. We do have another program, Mike, how did the one from Wayne, was his name on that, do you know?
Those were for buyouts only.
Buyouts only, so this
Right.
was for elevation that he's talking about. I will definitely speak to my counterparts in above to say, hey, we'd like to bring this program back, because it's important for our town. Especially the elevation part of it. That's what I'd like to see in our town, because it keeps our residents here and it keeps the tax dollars here. Buying out homes is not a good thing for my town because it's too small. A town like a Wayne, they can give up 30, 40 houses and not feel that pinch. A town like Pompton Lakes, we give up 30 houses, we're in trouble. So I would love to keep our residents here. I'd love to see them bring this program back. Mike, do you have any information about any of that?
I'll look into it.
We'll look into it and we'll try to get back to you. Any information, though, that you have, if you don't mind sending an email over of what you had started to our clerk, and then she could forward it to me, so I have something to talking reference to when I talk to the politicians, so I can say, well, let's try to bring this back. That would help me. So if you have anything, you could just send it over to her. Okay. Thank you. Oh, sure.
No, just if you have a copy of that, I'll take it to the flood advisory group. We would like to, yeah, I'll bring it up at the flood advisory board meeting
I'll pass it around.
next Thursday. All right, thank you.
Okay. Privilege of the floor. Anybody have privilege of the floor?
Yeah, just one thing real quick. I just wanted to congratulate Chief Rodriguez on completing that Rutgers program.
Thank you.
I think that was big, so.
Very
Thank
nice.
you very much, appreciate that.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, I just want to ask, just to let you know, there are about 6 fireboxes on poles on Summit Avenue, Pompton Avenue, Hill
Court.
Court?
The top, yeah, before.
Hill Court. And they're all wrapped up in black plastic. They don't work. Now, I talked to Chief DeCake, and he said they were supposed to be fixed in January. They've been wrapped up for 6 months. They are inoperative. So my neighbors complaining, I take the complaints, and first of all, if they're not operative, they should either be removed or fixed. And they're wrapped up in plastic, and now because of the weather, all the plastic's all chewed up, and it does look horrible. So, can somebody get back to us?
I'll have Mike look into, can we look into that?
Yeah, there's 6 boxes on 3 streets.
Yeah, so
They said they're all out of order. They will not work.
our OEM coordinator, Al Evangelista, is well aware of the situation. I know that he was, posting updates on social media regarding the matter. He works very closely with our new fire alarm superintendent who monitors the boxes. So if Al has any comments,
Wanna say
but
something?
otherwise I'll reach out, and we'll
Yeah.
work it out.
I'd like to have them fixed, but if not, they should be taken down.
You want anything? Go ahead.
Mayor and council, this has been ongoing. The system sustained damage as a result of an accident and a couple other things, wind events that put us behind. That system's always been up and running, but it's to the point now where we have to do wire replacement on one of the loops. There's 3 loops that go throughout our town. 2 of them are up working, 1's down. As Michael knows, we have procured the wire that we need, but the weather is not working in our favor. It put us behind by a couple months. We're looking to get a task force of 3 or 4 people that do fire alarms that have offered to help our town at no cost. They're gonna come in on a particular day. They're gonna run all the wire together into loop up, hopefully within the day. So what we had to do for the safety of everybody is cover the boxes so they didn't inherently pull one, and it wasn't working. Some are covered, some are not, and that's the issue we're dealing with right now. All right, our goal is to get the system up and running. We have about 7 buildings tied into that system, which are, properly covered if they're not in progress, if they're working, the boxes are not uncovered, of course. But as soon as you get the wiring back up, the system will get back to normal, and then we're going to proceed in the spring and summer with the repainting of the boxes, which is sort of needed as well. So it is a work in progress. We're very happy that we're able to get a bucket truck, borrowed from a neighboring town that we can use to do our aerial work, but it's generally the weather put us well behind.
Thank you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's fine. So I can tell the neighbors spring.
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully.
Shooting.
Okay, shooting for spring.
It's extended.
Okay. And I just wanted to thank whoever puts the Pompton Lakes, New Jersey newsletter
That's
together.
Liz, does a great job with it. Well, don't you do it? Who does it? Oh, Mike?
Mike?
Gabby does it.
Gabby?
I always thought we do.
This is excellent. You can sign up for the town newsletter, and it has all kind of information about the first aid squad and all different upcoming events. Drives me crazy when I hear there's nothing to do in town. Well, yes, there is, and it's all here, and they're very nicely posted. And the mayor, you have a nice place to put your comments on. And I just wanted to thank you, and everyone should be signed up for this, and so you know what's going on in town. So I'm just going to mention that.
And I'll just piggyback on that. There are groups in town for the residents to sign up to them. That is one of them. The police department is another one. The bid downtown, somebody said, I never see any information how I buy these bid dollars. Well, if you're not on social media, which I understand a lot of people aren't, you sign up for the bid, you'll get emails from them, you'll get contact information from them. So just go to our webpage, all that stuff is listed there, and you can sign up to numerous things. Reverse 911, everybody should be signed up for that. If you're not, that's a mistake, because you're going to be the first resident calling, how come I didn't get a call to get out of my house during an emergency or something? So it's very important to sign up for those.
Thank you.
Any other, person for? Nope?
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to bring it up with Michael. I talked to him before. Any movement on Channel 77? A couple of times that I watched it, the police department had a nice program on the electric bikes. It was all half blacked out. You couldn't see anybody who was talking.
But that was their filming thing, right? Wasn't
I
it
was,
filming?
No.
Yeah,
I
yours
was-
is bad. Yours is very bad. You can't see his at all.
That's because it was they were filming it on site. It
Yeah,
wasn't,
that was a font size
It
issue,
wasn't
that's
here.
what they're talking about.
No, it's dark. It's very dark. You can't see it. And our meetings are not looking great either right now.
No, I watched
Channel
the,
77.
I watched the council meeting the other day, and I was listening intently to the mayor, and his voice was breaking up, and I was so.
As long as it's blurring out my face, we're in good shape.
I mean.
No, you weren't blacked out this time.
It just sounds like we have ongoing, I mean, it's just, I think since I started on council, we have had ongoing issues with Channel 77.
I mean, my initial reaction, unfortunately, is it
gotta put money.
requires a capital investment. I mean, it's reaching its end of useful life, and we're gonna have to make you know,
I think the last
An effort
estimate
to
we
fix
got
it.
was like 50 to 75,000.
I mean, but it's
Years ago.
And that was years
keeping the lights on, I mean, from the, I guess the company we're contracted with to do the upload, maintain and all that, I mean, what is their feedback to this? Because, look, you can have an old system, as long as you keep it running, replace the parts, I mean, is
They're
it?
having problems, last time we spoke, they're having problems getting the pieces to replace things that break in there.
Granted, okay, so maybe we need to revisit.
Yeah, we can.
Maybe we
we'll
need
put
to
a-
revisit.
We can put
because,
a
I
little
mean,
ad hoc committee together.
It's going on
to-
6 years.
Oh, it's been a longer.
I
than
mean, or longer, but I mean, since we have the parts, so how long does it take to find the parts? I know it doesn't take 6 years, and I know there's a supply chain issue, everybody's going through it. But I mean, it's getting ridiculous at this point.
So Mike, maybe you can get some information from our vendors about that and what they know about it, how we can make it better, maybe a quick cost, and we're not gonna hold them to it, just so we have numbers to think about.
And to be honest with you, refurbished may work as well. We're not, you know, if it's working, we get another 20 years out of it, we could talk about getting a newer system down the road, but even a refurbished system that we can just replace what we have, because right now,
Yeah, it's not good now. I just have to
It's
come across it.
just-
It's very
My
dark,
other-
hard to see.
My other comment would be, when I worked for the Borough of Oakland, we reached out to Verizon Altice USA to request high definition channel, which is something that we can do, but we don't have the camera infrastructure to do that. So in order to do that, and, you know, mind you, although it may be blurry, it may be hard to hear, it's a low definition channel. So we would have to upgrade to a high definition channel, but we would need all new cameras to do that. And you
Well-
could be looking at $30,000 to $45,000.
We do have a new agreement coming up with both cable companies, so maybe that's something we talk
Right.
to them about.
But we'll definitely mobilize and start thinking about
at
it.
least,
I just think Channel 77 is an asset to the community.
no, I agree.
And I switched from cable to fiber. I used to be able to tape the meetings, but for some reason with fiber, I can't record on my DVR. I don't know why. I've called them in, they couldn't figure it out.
You're a real fan that you want to tape.
I always used to tape it, just to see you speak, Mayor. I was taping it
That's
all the
something.
time.
At least you get Pompton Lakes on 77, I get Woodland Park.
Do you?
Comes in, I called, they said they can't do anything.
Also, I want to say, for privilege of the floor, I want to congratulate ex-council president Jennifer Polidori on her appointment to the Passaic County Open Space Committee.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Yes, she was an asset to the town. Her heart is in the town, and I think that she can help to funnel dollars to Pompton Lakes, and I think that she can do a great job.
Okay.
So
Any other
I
pros
just
or
want to commend her. And on June 6th, there's going to be a race for the PBA Local 161.
I don't know anything about it. You know anything about it?
Is that,
Yes,
is that
Yeah,
true?
that was the motion I made.
That was the motion?
Oh,
That was the motion I made.
Yeah.
Is the chief running in that? Is he running or?
He's there.
I'm hoping that he comes in first.
If you race me, we can.
We can do that.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, motion to adjourn to closed session.
Second.
Councilman Bennett, Councilman Cruz, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Thank you, everybody, for attending. We have a closed session. We have.
We're recording.
Okay, in closed session, we discussed negotiation and personnel. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Councilman Bennett, Councilman Baig, all in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.